Holito Chamo Ngapa. In this episode, I want to dive into um, our bands. When you talk about our bands, because I was just looking at this right here, Cherokee Talks. They are live right now on Cherokee Nation channel. So they're talking about some stuff that I kind of agree with and I kind of don't agree with. But it's humor to me. Um, I want to talk about this real quick. All right, you see like how these are bends when you talk about the name of a street. All right, because these are streets, ST, that means street. So you have here Waltham. So you have the Waltz who may have made ham. Okay, there were people who made ham as far as having delis or something like that. Maybe they slaughtered pigs. You may have Atkinson. Um, Maybe they dealt with like branding something or making something that dealt with Atkinson, Marlowe. Then you have Curtis, Glendale. Like all these are bands that were tribes at one point, a part of a tribe at one point in time for different tribes. So you may have the band of Detroit, like you have the Glendale of Detroit, the Curtis of Detroit, the Normandy of Detroit, the Parkside of Detroit. So you have all these bands and they specialize in doing something. Like you may have lived on a street that was called Oaklawn or something. They dealt with picking oats. You know what I mean? And like whatever oats fell on the line, that's what they made oats out of. So you may have people that dealt with like windows or something like that, Grand View. They may have dealt with windows, installing windows or something like that. So like I can see this being true because like there are like a lot of window stores in Detroit that deal with like say if your windows get broke right here, you would think like how I'm going to repair this window if it gets broke. Someone just drives by and hit my window with a baseball or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's like you have window stores in Detroit that you can call where they'll just come out and repair it the same day. Um, so you may have Phil that may have dealt with like baseballs or something like that. Maybe they did something in the baseball. Maybe they had their own leagues. They maybe they bust our league. So like when you look at bands and stuff like that, they are very important to know. And like our history goes so far back, like it's kind of hard to say what like some of this stuff means, but it's obviously archived in like some of our departments. But like we look at Saran, like what does that mean really? You know what I mean? So it's like then you ask yourself, what does lane mean? You know what I mean? So all this stuff has a origin, and like these are bands. These are bands of African Americans, black people, Negroes, colored people. These are our bands of our tribe, and our tribe is Detroit. Same thing for Chicago. On my birth certificate, I have Chicago. That's where I was born. I was born in Chicago. It has my street that I was born on and everything. Um, that would be my band. The street that I was born on, and the city would be my tribe. You ask me what language do I speak? I speak the tribe language. What tribe or what's the name of the language? It would be Chicago, or it would be the street that I grew up on. That would be the name of my language. So like you see here, like Detroit, like a person who lives on Somerset, who was born in Detroit, who may have been born on Hartwell, his language may be Somerset, and his language may be called Detroit. So like it's all how you term it and like invent it and brand it. So that's all I want to talk about in this video. But this right here, yeah, I was sitting here looking at this and like the lady here, she's talking about some stuff, and here she is. And like again, like this is Cherokee Nation channel. I made the comment that sharecroppers had this land before a organization had it, and that's true. Because like you look at the Dawes Rolls, like the Dawes Rolls wasn't always around, like sharecroppers and farmers were always around, and like they never did things accustomed to like out of the norm. So like when you think of like us being in these lands and like someone just comes along and puts something on it, that would be a form of hostage taking, as I stated in the last video. So Cherokee owes African Americans reparations as well. So don't mismistake me on that. They really do. So like all these homes right here, like Virginia Park, you know what I mean? They're a band for Detroit. Like you may have had the Virginian Indians or something like that, the Virginia Moors, the Virginian Parks. You know what I mean? So it's like, how did they term that in the beginning? You know what I mean? Like what were they known as? You know, so like you have the Virginian who spoke Detroit. You know what I mean? So they may have dealt with like keeping records for people who come from out of other states. All right, because you can see these homes, they're kind of large, so you got to keep a lot of stuff in them. So like we weren't meant to like just stay in these homes and stuff like that just all our lives. You know what I mean? Like we were meant to like, do work in these homes and like move on to the next thing. But like you can see like when Detroit went out of business, a lot of these homes just kind of faltered. They just kind of went to waste. But like these are job titles right here. These are career titles. These are um this is our unit. You know what I mean? Like this is this is our unit in our tribe. You Cadillac Boulevard, like okay, you probably built Cadillacs or something like that. I don't know. But this is what we did. Like you were Lawrence Street, you know what I mean? Like you probably showed people how to, get places using the Lawrence routes, like as far as the river. So man, let's try to figure this stuff out, cause like we don't want this history to go to waste, and like we don't want people coming here adopting what we started and kind of like using it for themselves and saying like black people, they were the ancient ones, but they don't exist. You know how they like to tell stories and then don't actually say who the people were. That's how they do black Americans. Like they don't really tell the story correctly, but they say like we were ancient, but they don't tell our stories as much. But like they've always been around themselves, but like at the sense that they weren't just like in the tribes just to be in the tribes. Um, they were doing something else. But it's like hard to say like, well, if they've always existed, well, what were they really doing? You know what I mean? Because it's like these tribes are everywhere. You got the Detroit tribe. You got let me see. You got the Minneapolis tribe. You got Muskegon tribe. Like all these are cities, but like Detroit is a city. Like all these right here are just like I wouldn't know what to call these. They got Wakesum, New Hudson, Green Oak. I wouldn't know what to call these places. I wouldn't know what to call them. Maybe a confederacy or something like that. I'm not sure. But like you see Detroit is in bold letters, so like that is a tribe. You know what I mean? So and then like you come from another city like Chicago and you come here, they accept you because you got family in this tribe and they know who their family are. Then you know what I mean? You're welcome to come. So that's that. I want to go ahead and just roll out. Um, Catch me on the next one, and I'll see you all then. Yakoki.